It was a bright and cheerful afternoon. The crowd was buzzing with excitement. Today was the final round of the soapbox car race. Only 4 children remained, and their homemade cars stood proudly at the starting line, each a reflection of creativity and hard work. Among them was a boy named Brian. His car wasn't flashy. It was simple, built from plain wood, decorated with a few small blinking lights. Compared to the others, his car looked modest, even underwhelming. People in the crowd whispered, "That car won't win. Just look at it." But Brian didn't seem bothered. He stood confidently, a quiet smile on his face. That car was built with his own 2 hands, and to him, that meant everything. The other 3 cars were much more elaborate, sleek, colorful, decorated with shiny paint and fancy parts. But Brian didn't envy them. He was proud of what he had made. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the final race. The 4 kids stood at the starting line, hands ready to push their cars with all their might. The track was a circular loop, with 4 separate lanes. The tension in the air was thick. Just as the official was about to start the race, Brian raised his hand. "Wait a moment," he said softly. Everyone paused. Brian closed his eyes, pressed his hands together, and began to whisper. His lips moved gently, he was praying. A full minute passed before he opened his eyes again and said, calmly, "Okay. I'm ready." Bang! The race began. With a powerful push, each child launched their car down the track. The crowd erupted in cheers. "Go! Go! Faster! Let's go!" they shouted. The cars sped ahead, wheels spinning, hearts racing. And then, the finish line approached. One car crossed first. Brian's car. The crowd exploded in applause. Brian beamed, raising his fists in the air. But before celebrating, he bowed his head and whispered once more, "Thank you." Later, during the trophy ceremony, Brian stepped forward to accept his prize. The announcer smiled and said, "Hey champ, I bet you prayed to God to help you win, didn't you?" Brian shook his head. "No, sir," he replied quietly. "That's not what I prayed for. I don't think it's fair to ask God to help me beat someone else." He paused, then continued, "I just asked him to help me not cry, if I lost." The room fell silent. Not a single sound could be heard. And then, applause. Loud, heartfelt, and thunderous. That day, Brian didn't just win a race. He won the hearts of everyone who saw what true sportsmanship looks like. Moral of the story: Brian taught us that real strength isn't about winning, it's about the courage to face losing. He didn't ask God to guarantee his success, but to give him the strength to accept failure with grace. And above all, he never forgot to say, "Thank you," because sometimes, gratitude is the greatest victory of all.